All righty, we are live streaming live out of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Lancaster, actually Atlantic City, New Jersey. Welcome to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk, hosted by Byron Jones and Victor Arocho. Brought to you by the Sportscast. Today is October 26, 2023. Man, this time is flying. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the Sportscast and all our channels: YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, iTunes, um, Stitch, all of them are out there. And we have a Jersey Boys Sports Talk podcast. You can get it on your Apple. You can get it on Spotify. Just go to Jersey Boys Sports Talk. You'll see our pictures, Byron and Byron. Hit the notifications. Please join in. Also on YouTube, smash the like button if you like this. Leave your comments. You leave your comments, we'll get back to you. Good, bad, or ugly. We like your opinions. Sport, the art of sport is about debate. So please leave some comments and tell us what you want us to talk about a little bit further. We're streaming live on Facebook every Thursday and at 8 o'clock, Facebook and YouTube, 8 p.m. Go to YouTube channel. You can hear all our shows. There's a playlist plus some of the other shows that we have going on. And we're getting ready to go. You can also listen to us on your smart speaker. Let's get going. So, Mr. Byron Jones, how you doing over there? You you go to Atlantic City to gamble, to eat, to do what? You're on mute. You're
Just
still
hanging
on
out
mute.
for a week. That's it.
What's that?
Just hanging out. That's it. Nothing else.
Oh,
I don't.
really?
I don't gamble. I don't do none of that crazy stuff.
Oh, is that right? All
Nope.
right, hold on a second. We got Galaxy Note, which is Dolph fan. Come on out, come on in. So we're gonna have to slow him down for a second, okay? So let me tell him. Hey, I'm gonna expect this is Saul. Welcome to the Sportscast. Is this Saul Dolph fan? Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Is this Dolph fan? Saul?
No, it's me.
Eric?
Yeah, what's
Okay.
up, my guy?
Mr. Galaxy Note 8. All right, hold on. Let me change. Let me change. Let me
I
change
gotta
it.
change my name.
All right, let me change it for you, Eric Winters. Don't worry about it. I got it.
You got it?
Winters. Yep. Okay. All right, hold on a second. Welcome to Sports Talk. And we also here with us is our regular guest host, Alex Quirk, our resident. Is that correct? Say your last name correctly?
Work, yeah.
Quirk, Alex Quirk, who is one of our smart young Giants fans from Maine. So we're always impressed to have him on the shows. Very articulate, knows the game, knows the Giants very well. I'm definitely want to hear what you got to say because me and Byron are gonna go at it for a little bit on the quarterback situation. And we got Eric Winters, our resident Philadelphia fan, major Philadelphia fan. So welcome to the show, and let's get going. So this is what we're going to cover today, and we'll see what we cover. One, we're going to talk about the Giants win versus the Commanders. We're going to talk about Tyrod Taylor. We're going to talk about Giants head coach, about Saquon Barkley's future. A couple, like there was a QB. They elevated a Giants QB, Tommy DeVito, and offensive lineman Jalen Mayfield to active roster. Giant Jet showdown. We're going to talk about the Cowboys. I want to talk about the Cowboys. Your guys' thoughts on their running game. The Philadelphia Eagles versus the Dolphins. That was a big game. Get some comments. I'm sure Eric, it'll be a good one for Eric. And then we're going to be talking about the Commanders and the Giant game. I'd like to talk a little bit about, I'm not going to be here the whole show. So if you guys talk, I'd like to get you guys' opinion on the 49ers. And your boy Sam Darnold is taking over because Brock Purdy is in concussion protocol, Byron. So I'd like to see what your thoughts are over there. And if you get a chance, talk a little bit about Deshaun Watson, but there's no big deal. The only reason I always bring up Deshaun Watson, because we always talked about that he's probably the number one quarterback that's under the spotlight because of what he signed for and will he deliver. And now he's injured, but yeah, Cleveland's still doing pretty good, but it's not really due to him. Cleveland's defense is crazy. It's awesome. So let's get started right off the bat. Let's talk about the Giants win versus the Commanders. Byron, you and I both didn't pick that one, man. I'm happy when the Giants win, just so you know. There's no confusion. It's just Alex, I'll bring this up again because you weren't here a couple of weeks ago, but Byron and I feel like we're more depressed, I guess, this season than we were when we started our show 4 years with the Giants.
Well, I mean, it makes sense because 4 years ago, the Giants were in the midst of this turmoil of we didn't know where they were going. They were directionless, in my opinion. And this year, we came off the highs of probably our best season in like 7 years to see them just come flat out on their face. And in many ways, it seems like the team didn't change. Obviously, little things did, but it didn't seem like it seemed like it was the same team. I don't know if they just bought into their hype. So it's been a trying year, but it was nice to get the win. As ugly as it is, I'm kind of resigned to the season is what it is at this point when you're 2-5.
I would agree. Byron?
Well, you have to admit, man, they look good, the first half. It was a difference with the quarterback and a line that could block, semi-block. And, having Saquon out there is, a big difference, as far as offensively. It's a big difference when he's out there. And then now it seems like they want to attempt to throw the ball deep with, Jalen Hyatt. It was pretty impressive, the things that, this kid did. And Darren Waller, all the money they're paying him, he's way up there in the pay scale. Him finally looking like one of the elite tight ends that he's supposed to be. And let me talk about my man Kayvon. Now, all of a sudden he's my man because he was killing me the first couple games because he was no good. And he now he has 5.5 sacks. I think he's in the top 3 or whatever as far as sack leader. So I really can't say too much about. He's playing a lot better.
Well, to add to that, I'm happy too. The defense is, listen, we knew going in to this season, right, about the offensive line. We've been saying it for years, right? What we were excited about was our defense, right? And they just were terrible. It was both sides of the line were terrible. The last couple games, they stepped it up. So maybe the media, maybe Kayvon Thibodeau just, or, maybe Thibodeau's just seeing with Micah Parsons. He can be a Micah Parsons. Right?
Whoa. That's too much.
Well, listen, I apologize. You're correct. You guys built him up so much when he first came in. Yeah, you and Joe Capraro, particularly Joe Capraro.
No, Joe Capraro said that he was going to.
Okay, I forget. We got to keep Byron, we do the percentage of how much people talk, and Byron talks one of the smaller percentages. So that means we should be able to record all his stuff. We have all this recorded. We got to get him. All I'm saying is that kid has to step up. Our defense has to step up. That's the only chance we have, right? Because even the games that we lost when we turned it over and the defense scored, right? The opposing team scored. So if we don't do something there, so I'm happy with Thibodeau stepping up. I'm happy with the defense stepping up. Just in general, they're playing better. Is that a fair statement? The last 2 games, at least.
Yeah.
I mean, even with the loss to Buffalo, I mean, still, that was, again, a poor move by a quarterback, not calling the wrong audible on, with time running out. But outside of that, but let's get to that. So Thibodeau, I'm happy with the defense stepping up. Who was it? Joey Bag Donuts said it well. We, all the moves we made on defense, they're not playing to the things that we did on defense. Would you agree with that, Alex?
I would honestly say that overall the defense has been okay. I think at times they've been very suspect. Kayvon Thibodeau, we do want to give him his flowers, but he did also, by the way, drop what could have been a pick 6. Let's not think that every single thing he did on Sunday was all
he's a
sunshine.
linebacker.
Listen, you know what? It doesn't
got
matter.
cinder block hands, man.
At the end of the day, listen, could have caught that ball.
We make fun of them like linemen.
I mean, I overall think that
Byron.
Defense has not been the reason for a lot of their problems this year. I noticed taking out the Dallas game, which was just an absolute disaster. I don't blame the defense for a lot of the problems this year. I think the defense has really been one of the bright spots. They're doing what they can.
Yeah, man. Before Sunday, dude, we were 77-6 in the first half. 77. So you can't give up that many points. A lot of them were offensive turnovers.
Well, what about
that 6? Turnovers.
What about that 6?
No,
we're gonna blame.
We scored 6 points. We scored 6 points. The defense was
Yeah, that's
terrible.
my
The
point.
the
Like, what
defensive
did the
interior
defense
line was
do?
ranked number 1 in preseason, right, Byron?
Oh, no,
Okay.
interior defense.
The interior line was ranked number 1. They're not playing to that level. So I give you kudos for giving it to them. You know, and we could agree to disagree, but you know, it's funny. We're hard on the Giants when we say it. Even Mr. Winters, he's surprised that, you know, he's like, why are you giving up so early? And Philadelphia's winning. You know, he's a Philly fan. And I'm just saying, hey, look, that's not that we're giving up. It's just if I lose a game, I want to lose a game and I played competitive. But don't lose a game and play just really bad football, right? Both by coaching, by playing, and so forth. So,
I don't disagree with that.
So anyhow, I'm happy with that. So Eric, you know, Eric, you there?
I'm here.
So you must have been smiling because me and Byron picked the Commanders and we lost with our own team.
I wasn't so much smiling because you guys picked the Commanders and I was talking to you guys about the Giants. I was just smiling more to say that sometimes you just got to go with the eye test. Like, don't go with the analytics and all the other stuff that the talking heads are talking about. Sometimes you just got to go with your heart, even if it's your team. So, I mean, and that's just coming from a Philly guy. It's been plenty of years that we sat on the back burner, not in the Andy Reid years, but in the beginning of the Andy Reid years. I remember the years when Rich Kotite had us, and I was still just down for the count. Like, I'm down with 10 toes down. That's all I'm saying. Just be 10 toes down with your squad, good or bad.
Yeah.
But what I can say is, your coach. I mean, he didn't get those accolades last year because he was a fly-by-night guy. You got your coach. You guys got a really, really good coach. You got really good players. Are they doing immature things at times? Yeah. But, you know, at the end of the day, we already know how this story going to go. I know that you know that Dallas is going to do the same thing they do every single year. They're not going to surprise anybody.
No. We'll get to Dallas. Let's not get over there.
Right.
By the way, last
also
week's
know
show
that
they did a measurement. The most talked about on our show is Phillies and the Dolphins. It was least about the Giants. It was so funny.
Wow.
So let's stick back with the Giants.
Well,
I
I'm
hear
just saying,
I hear what you're
East,
saying, Eric.
Yeah.
And I agree with you, except for one, being a host of a show, I want to be objective, right? The one thing I always make fun of the South Florida fans is they're not objective. Like, you know, they're going to be totally no matter what for their team. And you look, I like the sport enough to be able to say, you know, look, and I'll say it, and I've said it a million times, right? The 4 Super Bowls we won, we weren't the best team in the NFL. That day we were.
I don't know about that first one. That first 86 team.
Yeah, that's true. Phil Simms. Yeah. Okay. So outside of that, but then with Hostetler, with Manning, we were 9-7. We beat an undefeated Patriots, right? And then we beat Belichick twice, but we were the better team that day. And like I said, I've always said this, and it's proof is in the pudding. Now that Philly won a Super Bowl, right? Is the NFC, when the NFC East is playing good football as a whole, they're dangerous in the playoffs, except for Dallas, outside of Jimmy Johnson years, right? But we're dangerous.
I mean, really, that just means the Giants and the Eagles have been carrying the water for the whole division, if we're being honest, because Dallas perennially chokes in. When's the last time Washington
they're looking at the record as a whole. Please? Yeah, but you can't say that.
For the people in the back, please. The Giants and who?
And
Giants
and
Eagles.
Carrying the water.
I'll give the Eagles credit.
Yeah. But you got to give. Listen, you got to remember there was a run when San Francisco. It was either the NFC Championship back in the day was pretty much the Super Bowl. Yeah, it was San Francisco versus the Giants, San Francisco versus Dallas. One of those, San Francisco versus Washington. One of those, whatever team won, we won the Super Bowl. So
I will concede historically.
You got to look at the NFC as a whole. We're the only division that has a champion, a Super Bowl champion in every team, and we have the most Super Bowl championships, and we've been to the most Super Bowls, right? So that's where we're at there. Let's get to Tyrod Taylor, right? Tyrod Taylor's playing some good ball, and I like that he's connected. He's got something with with Dollar. What's the tight end's name? I'm a little slow.
Darren Waller.
Darren Waller.
Darren Waller. Yeah, I woke up today to a mess. Trust me. Darren Waller. They're connecting pretty well. I'm pretty happy with that. He's playing good. I got some numbers in. What do you think, Byron? I mean, hey, he's doing pretty good. Other than that bad move on Buffalo, but
allegedly they said that Dable took over the offensive meetings and everything, and like really went back to the way he started as far as hands on, and just pretty much this is all his imprint because you figure they've shortened up the drops for Tyrod. He's rolling out something Daniel Jones didn't do, and then Tyrod is looking downfield. The explosive plays. 20 yards. They had a whole bunch of them. They have more probably one game they've had all year in the one game because he's looking to throw deep and they're holding the line. All they got to do is just hold up for a second, and these guys are getting open. But for some reason, they don't. When Daniel Jones is there, I still believe in my guy Daniel Jones. They can go with all the stuff, Tyrod, the guy, whatever. But you're paying Daniel all the money to be the guy.
I'm not really looking to jump ship, but I'm not unhappy if Tyrod stays for a little bit. We got to get a spurt and look at his numbers, right? He's got a passer rating against the Commanders of 116, put up 279 yards, 2 TDs, 0 interceptions against the Bills, which is a game we could have won, right? He had an 80% passer rating and he had 200 yards, so, for a guy to come in and back up, put up those numbers, I'm pretty happy, right? Could be worse. Right, because you got that line there.
Offseason, when they said Giants assigned Tyrod, I'm like, that's an excellent signing as a backup. Because as with Byron, I'm not giving up on Daniel Jones, but knowing Tyrod Taylor as an ace in the hole, that's a solid backup, and we're seeing it through 2 games. Obviously, some of the decision making has not been excellent through 2 games, but I've been impressed with Tyrod Taylor, or T-Mobile, as he formerly used to call himself.
Right. And look, I'll dovetail off of Eric's. Listen, I believe in the coaching staff. I like Dable. I like the coaching staff. Wink is making me a little nervous, but now he's starting to either figure it out. He's not maybe slowing up on the blitzing. He's doing the things he needs to do, and he's got to get Thibodeau involved. I think Thibodeau's young enough to let him. I think Thibodeau starts getting that taste like he's getting now. I think, Byron, you tell me, you were a defensive player. You know how it is. Once you're on a roll, you start getting that taste. You want more of it, right? And remember that, who was that guy, Witherspoon, against Seattle when we lost? But then I kept saying, stop throwing this guy. I was a defensive back. Once you're hot, you feel it. You feel it. It's just, there's a sense. All of a sudden, you feel where the quarterback's throwing. I mean, he took that ball, 80-something yards for a touchdown? So hopefully 90. Yeah, exactly. Okay. You're back in the red zone. So I'm not giving up on Taylor. I agree with Eric as it relates to the coaching staff. I'm happy with it. Again, we need to, I just want to see progress. I want to feel happy. I just don't want to feel like just bad football. Right.
You didn't bring up the one guy that's playing very well, the rookie. You forgot about him.
I didn't forget.
The corner played very well.
Oh, yeah. Yes. But that's also, he's playing better because timeout. He's playing better. Yes. But he's also playing better because what makes a defensive back better is the defensive line and your rush. Okay. There's no confusion there. Right. I don't care how good you are, unless you're, one of the top like 5-6 cornerback defensive backs. Anything greater than 3 to 4 seconds, you got a problem. Because those receivers are quick. You don't know where they're going. They understand how to talk to each other, the quarterback and the receivers, and you're just stuck chasing. You understand? And in today's league, you got to be careful what you touch, what you don't touch, and you can get away. It's only so much you get away with. Well, I'm happy with Tyrod Taylor. I'm glad there's not a lot of debate there, but hopefully, if, like you said, if Dable is starting to call some of the offense, Daniel Jones then has to just take it and do what he does best. And you said we're going for the big balls downfield, right? Remember, Daniel Jones was the number 1 downfield.
He's not calling the offense. I'm just saying, like the meetings, like as far as the offensive meetings and, being more involved with the position groups, that kind of stuff.
He's more hands-on.
Yeah, he's just more hands-on now than what he was. Instead of just letting Kafka, whatever his name is, run the thing. But he's more involved now. Said he was.
He's doing what the chairman of the board does. Sometimes you count the votes, and sometimes you weigh the votes. His vote weighs a lot more than the count. So I'm probably pretty sure he's being involved. He's more hands-on, but he's pretty much saying this is what we need to do. Because you got to put up points. We're getting crushed, right? If we're 77-6, you got to shorten that gap. You got to stop them from scoring, and you got to put up points. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
At the end of the day, that's what that comes down to. So good with that. All right. And okay, what do you think about Eric? I'll ask you a question. What are your thoughts about the Giants, the rumors of Giants possibly chaining Saquon?
He's muted.
Oh, he is. All right.
I missed what you said about Saquon. What did you say?
I'm going to squash the rumors, right? So far, according to Dable and the reports, there's no way they're going to trade Saquon. I don't believe Saquon wants to leave anyways. What are your thoughts on him being traded, and where do you think he'd make a good fit?
Oh, damn, that's a crazy question to ask. I don't want to see him leave the Giants because he could be a steeple. It just face value alone, that guy is a franchise changer. So far as sending him anywhere, if he did have to go anywhere, he would have to go to the AFC because he'll tear the NFC up, like anywhere where he go at. So, I mean, I don't have a team per se, but you got, like, I don't know. I really don't know how to even answer that question.
That's all right. That's fair. Alex?
Yeah.
I actually really do like that analysis. And also, I think more so there might be more teams in the AFC that are desperate to make a move for a running back. Let's say, Cleveland, for example, who, in addition to losing...
They got running backs.
A lot of them are injured.
They lost Chubb.
That's right.
Ford's injured too at the moment. And what better way to kind of build a running back by committee, assuming the Browns probably aren't going to be eating all of that $11 million contract that Saquon is owed. Well, again, up to. I don't know what like all the breakdown of the incentives are. I could see Cleveland.
I could see Baltimore. Baltimore would be dangerous with Saquon.
And Buffalo too.
Yeah, but okay. So
what about San Diego?
Let's go.
San Diego?
There's no sense. You mean the Chargers?
I mean, I'm sorry, the Chargers, LA Chargers.
Yeah,
that's a bad subject for me. Don't bring up the Chargers for me. I can't.
But that's good engagement, no?
I hate that. I hate that coach. I don't hate the coach. I just don't. Anyways, that rumor is being squashed. He's not going to go anywhere. It's just that he would be dangerous with Baltimore. But I do want to go a little bit off script real quick. So I got a little bit of time. Byron, I called it with Buffalo, didn't I?
No.
So yeah. Why can't you just nicely for 4 years say, Vic, that was a good call. You did call.
Say no. It's easy to say no.
Okay, come on.
I'm saying no.
Well, okay, what are you saying no to?
I don't know, just whatever it is.
See what I mean? Okay. So Byron, I was wrong about Buffalo, wasn't I?
I guess so.
Oh, see, now he agrees because he knows I want the opposite answer. Okay. All right. Look, my long story short, because I got to get going and Byron's going to take over, guys. But I want to get I want to get a little bit in with Eric and the Dolphins. What I called about Buffalo, Eric, I think you were on one of the shows, and I think Alex early on. I don't trust them. That's one of the reasons why I picked the Jets first. Then I picked the Dolphins because Buffalo, the way they played at the end of the year was terrible. And then they played terrible in the beginning. Then they started getting hot, and now they're playing terrible. Like something's wrong with that organization. How can you be so hot and cold that much? Eric, you made up a good point. It takes some more time in the season. Wait till the snow falls. They get better. That's a different story than winning against a good team, blowing out the Dolphins, then coming back and losing to some of these other teams. It's just terrible. Terrible. So anyhow, that was what I was talking about. Any comments on that, Alex?
I also mentioned that your quarterback can't be your running back. I did mention that too.
Which is the same thing I used to say about Baltimore, right?
Yeah.
I was like, look, I love.
He was the MVP though.
But once I love him, but the thing is, you can't go into the game hoping your quarterback runs 100 yards. that's not a good game plan. That's a bonus. It's not a good game plan, right? Because it's not going to happen. And look, they haven't been able to make it. But real quick, before I get off and turn this over, we got some other things to talk about. We got the Jets. Byron, if you want to talk about the Jets and Giants a little bit later. But while I have, since we talked last week, I'd like to let it go before I turn this over to you, Byron. Eric, I got to go because I got family in from Virginia, and then I won't be able to see them until maybe Sunday. Dolphins, Philly. Okay, that was true test of the Dolphins, and Philly just manhandled them.
What about Philly? That wasn't a test for Philly?
It was a test for Philly, but I think it was a bigger test for the Dolphins because I still believe that the Philadelphia Eagles aren't playing yet full tilt to their potential, and I think
that's a true statement.
And yet they're winning. The Dolphins are lighting it up, but they didn't really play anybody. You understand? And so the test was that. And look, they could have lost close and made it a great game like they did in Buffalo in the cold. That was impressive, but they just got manhandled.
Well, we also spoke about the trenches. When we spoke about the game prior to this, we were talking about all the things, the glitz and the glamour and what Tyreek is going to do and what all the rest of the cast was going to do. But we also talked about the trenches and how the trenches work. And you saw it. As soon as Jalen Carter got out there, he trashed the first guard that was out there. It was over after that. He basically took their heart from him. And then when they tried to do all of those little funny plays that they do, well, listen, that's like a fly hitting a windshield. It ain't going nowhere after that. So I give it to them. They should have had probably won that game if Tyreek didn't do his celebration before he actually caught the ball. Because when he scored the first time around, he did a celebration of a dead fish in the Eagles' end zone. But then he turned around and dropped another walk-in touchdown doing a celebration before he even had a chance to get over the line. And that's when they kind of lost it after that. Guys started falling off. I forgot the other guy, Waddle. Waddle back went out on him in the third quarter because he wasn't getting the ball. Let's just keep it 100. And on top of that, they offensive as well as their defensive line, they couldn't handle the power of the Eagles. Because
remember what we said, though? We said that
Jalen
Hurts. We also mentioned that Jalen Hurts is going to come back strong.
Yes, he did say that.
He came back. He threw for 256 yards. Okay, you guys rushed for 100 yards, which is you get your rushing up a little bit, but it was
balanced. It
seemed like you rushed for more yards than that, but overall you had 355 yards of offense versus their 244. They only
because that's what a butt kicking looked like. I'm sorry, I want to say the other word, but that's what a butt kicking looked like.
But let me tell you the reason I think why your yards are so low, if you think about it, is the push tush, the brotherly shove, right? I mean, the Vikings tried it. The Vikings tried it, and they were unsuccessful.
Hey man, listen, everybody can't go to Stout University.
It's not that. It's you got Jalen Hurts. I heard squats 600 pounds.
Yeah, we got one of those too. We got one of those guys. I said we have one of those.
And you have the best center in football too. That's in front of him.
Kelsey, you got him. You got that. So I think that's part of the reason why your yards are low.
Do you think it's more that they want it more than everybody else, or is it just the technique?
No, I think it's the tick. I think it's the technique.
Referring to the brotherly shove play.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's technique, 100%.
I think it's the technique. It's the quarterback because he's strong. Because listen to me, Peyton Manning is a big guy, okay? And his head is like twice the size of mine, okay? All right? And he is not even close to the success of quarterback sneaks than Tom Brady. And Tom Brady's no Jalen Hurts.
Oh, whoa. Tom Brady was very successful
with the quarterback sneak.
A lot. He did a lot.
Yeah, I said that. But he's not. They're not. They didn't utilize it. They're not.
Brady
The
wasn't exactly
Patriots
very
didn't
agile with the
utilize it
runners.
the way that Philadelphia. Two things: it's technique, it's your quarterback, and I think it's the fact that it's so successful that they're so confident. Now it's the third thing that you had said originally that they want it, because now it's like it's a power play for them. They know if I get 4th and 1, there's no confusion. They're not even calling a huddle, dude. They're running to the line. They know what they're running. The other team knows what they're running, and they can't stop them. They did it like 3 times on one drive. That drive was so impressive.
I'm sorry, we did it 4. We started out on our own 20.
Oh my God, that drive was so impressive.
Our own 20.
That I even tweeted that out or texted it out to Byron. That was an impressive drive. You guys went the entire field. Here, let me see what the time clock was. Go ahead, Alex. What were you going to say?
Well, I think I was more saying that, like, I mean, I guess we're talking more specifically the QB sneak, but it was like Brady overall wasn't a great runner. It was always like the joke. It was like watching a Clydesdale run every time he tried to get in the open field with the ball. Right. But no, it's one of those things where, I mean, and everyone's trying to figure out, it's like, what's going to give? Is it just this play is going to be just impossible to stop until either Kelsey leaves or gets injured or Hurts tweaks something? Like, I don't know what's going to stop this play. It's insane.
And the thing is, it's go ahead, Byron. What?
The league is going to stop that play. That's going to be the only.
Who?
The league, the NFL.
Yeah, but they're going to have a lot of kickback right now. There's nothing they can do because you know what helps the Philly is that when the Vikings tried it and were unsuccessful, right? So now it's not a matter of the only thing that's going to stop it if players get injured. Yeah, the
Giants had 2 of them got.
Giants did, yeah.
2 guys got hurt.
All right. Well, if that stat goes up, then they may have to put something in there, but I don't think it's something they should stop. I think that's part of the game, right? I mean, the Wildcat. I mean,
well, like, how do you regulate it? Is it basically that like you can't have someone push the quarterback? Like you could still run the QB sneak, but even then, Jalen Hurts may still be able to do it, even if you're like, all right. Goddard or whomever can't push, they're still going to run the play and it's going to work.
Doesn't Lyman also push the pile? Lyman pushed the pile on regular running plays.
I think it's more so like pushing the quarterback, not the line. I think is what the part they might try to regulate.
Because of defense, you can't do that. You know, as far as like when back in the day, you would jump on the guy's back and try to block the field, that kind of stuff. You know, they outlawed that. There's a couple other things on defense.
I used to jump on the pile.
That figures.
Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna let you guys continue to go. But I think that look at the time difference, and the time difference was that drive showed me that. By the way, Eric, they played Philadelphia football. That was the Philadelphia that I was expecting earlier. I think they still got more in them, right? They had the ball for 36 minutes compared to 23 minutes, right? Pretty much a full quarter. So imagine a full quarter. You can't score if you don't have the ball, right?
That was part of the game plan. I mean, we spoke on that the last week.
There's no doubt.
Last meeting. So that, but like you said, like I said, they had all the glitz, the glamour. They the fireworks were going off. Look at that play. Look at all those different motions. But at the end of the day, you still got to go straight. And you still got to go man on man, mano on mano. And they weren't ready for that. It definitely wasn't ready for the crowd here in Philly. I'm going to tell you that straight off the top. They was not ready for all of that. They didn't expect all of that. It was lights, camera, action when they got here.
That's crazy. They should have expected me. Philly's been known for that. But anyhow, look, I'm going to let you guys continue on that. You have what we have chat. Pick up your pieces. I wish I could stay, but I got to spend a little time with my family. Congratulations on the win. That was an awesome drive. The one thing I'll tell you about that quarterback push, right, is it is guaranteeing that now this ain't a Brandon Staley move. This is guaranteeing that they got 4 plays to get the first down because they are not messing around. If it's 4th and 1, they're going, here's what I'm running at you. Stop me. And the only way I think if you can stop, you better get guys as low as possible. You have to get underneath Kelsey. Because if you can't lift them up, there's no way you're going to get these guys through. And Jalen is just a beast. So, congratulations, Eric. And it's quiet down. Some of the Dolphins, I think they'll be okay in the AFC East. I think Byron, we still have them to win the AFC East, right? No, you switched to Buffalo. That's right. I went. That's right. You switched to Buffalo. I stuck with the Dolphins. That's right, Byron. Again, deny that one, baby. Deny that one. All right. So, gentlemen, I'm gonna let you go. Eric, thank you. Don't forget for our show, spending it out. It was great. I listened to your brother's show the other day.
Oh yeah. Man, that's what's up, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I listened to that and we shouted it out. They definitely are not a PG show.
My wife laughing at you guys, man.
I'll tell you why. Oh, by the way, tell your wife we said hello. We got nothing but love for her.
How you doing? I didn't speak because I stayed PG for y'all.
Yeah, all right, good. By the way, that was probably the funniest thing we had on our show. We expected from Philly fans, we just kind of threw us off when the wife of a Philly fan came on just in 30 seconds. I was like, whoa. That was funny. It was funny. So God bless you. Your husband's been fantastic and great fan. Please share our show and tell people you're more than welcome to come on. Byron, nothing but love for you. Alex, thank you again. Please come back on. Eric, we'll be talking soon. Mrs. Winters,
yes,
a pleasure.
Yes, sir.
But I gotta go because they're leaving like 25 minutes, so I want to go see them. All right,
have a good
Byron,
night, man.
you got control.
What?
You got control. So when you end it, you end it. Right?
Oh boy, it's on now.
Oh boy, there you go. I'm out. Peace.
All right, let's continue with the fabulous Philadelphia Eagles. They had two interesting things going on this week. They had Jalen was walking around, had a brace on, I guess, the last game. What's up with that? Mr. Eagle guy. And the move that they just made to strengthen their secondary. What do you think about that, Eric?
Well, the brace was something that it must have not been a big thing for Jalen because he didn't even speak on it.
Right.
He just said the injury didn't happen in the game. He said it was just more precautionary. And to me, I don't know if it – I don't feel like it was an issue because the way that he outran Chubb and threw a possible touchdown. Well, it looked like a touchdown to Brown. It just was one of them things like, hey, man, I'm hurt a little bit, coach, but I can still go. Because that old adage, are you hurt or are you injured? Because if you're injured, then you can't play. So, but if you're hurt, get your ass back out there. Excuse my language on your show, but that's how it used to be, right? So I think the question that we may need to ask is, what are we going to do? It's only one football. That's the question that you should have asked. How are we going to spread this thing around? Because I brought up the question of what are we going to do with Julio and how are we going to kick the tires? And we kicked the tires, and it only got off the lot. But what if that thing is really still got that Hemi engine under it? What do you do with that?
Well, what if it's
especially like I said, it's only one football.
Eric, what about this? What if it's that Hemi engine that that girlfriend that you forgot about back in the day pour some sugar in it? What if it's that kind of engine?
We all praying she put 87 in there. That's what I'm praying. We all praying that she put the 87 in there, man. I'm trying to tell you. Like, he looked good, man. It was just a 3-yard catch. I got a little excited. But even Jalen Hurts, I was watching something on YouTube, and they had them mic'd up. And Jalen Hurts said when he threw the ball deep to Brown, he said he something flashed in his, like, just at the game. And he said that looked like Julio Jones running down the field. He thought that was Julio, who he was throwing it to. And he said, yo, I've never seen you run like that before. It's almost like he mimicked, or he just, I don't know how you would say it, but he mimicked Julio Jones running down the field. That's the only reason why he threw that ball the way he did. So I'm hoping Julio do come to pass and really do show up. Then everybody's going to have a problem on their hands.
Alex, what do you think about that move with them signing Julio Jones last game?
I think it's just to build great depth and just another weapon. It's kind of like one of those, while Philly hasn't been a well-oiled machine so far this year, it can't hurt to have that extra piece, even if like Julio may not be, at least yet. And I think one of those, we'll see how much more he can produce. I know I said too early to tell on him. We'll see. I think he'll get more time against the Commanders because as what do I call a tease towards the picks, I'm anticipating this will be more of a game to really see Philly's depth, and Julio gets more opportunities.
Eric, how about that trade for the safety?
I'm super excited about it. I couldn't even let you get the rest of the question out. The reason why, because you finally got a Philly guy home, and this Philly guy that's home has been a fan.
Wait. He's from where?
He's from Philadelphia.
Oh, Jesus.
He's a guy that's actually from Philadelphia, has been a fan of the Eagles from a childhood, growing all the way up, has been a fan of Brian Dawkins. He actually plays his spot, and he, two-time Pro Bowler. Like you can't say enough great things about this guy. And on top of that, when he walks in a room, I'm not saying that he demand respect, but he damn sure got it. So do understand, like, guys like that, you don't find guys like that out on the street like that. So I'm surprised the Titans did what they did again. They might as well just give us Henry and just call it what it is, man.
We'll take him. Tennessee.
I don't know what's going on in Tennessee. All I know is every time Howie makes a call down there, we get what we want. Like I don't know what's going on.
Maybe that was the best offer, that they got, when they put them out there. But anyway, let's get off the Philadelphia Eagles. What's up with my favorite team in the whole world that I used to get a check from, the Minnesota Vikings beating the 49ers? Anybody?
That's a tough one in terms, because I don't know what it was that, like, San Francisco, I think it hadn't fully, if I recall, like that. I don't know if they had a true test game, but I knew they'd beaten up on a lot of bad teams, and that's what we thought Minnesota was. But I guess Minnesota's feistier, or I don't know if it's just San Francisco is just not as good as we think they are.
And the crazy thing is the Vikings didn't even have their guy, Justin Jefferson. They had the rookie was lighting them up. The kid from USC, Addison, was tearing them up. That was one of the things, I just didn't see that coming. I thought, 49ers going to roll in there, just rolling right down the field. And next year, all this craziness started. Brock Purdy looked like the 247th player pick with all the passes that would just sail. Everything was high. And he just didn't look good at all. And now he's out on concussion for the next game. He's not even playing. But got Sam, I don't know, Ghost Darnold is going to be the quarterback in the next game.
I think from one of my previous appearances, we've talked about how interesting that is. And this is truly the litmus test of how much Shanahan's system is going to be proven, because Sam Darnold, we've proved a bit of an underachiever for where he was drafted into New York. And then when he went to Carolina, because he just got shipped out. But this will be the litmus test of, okay, is Darnold actually what we saw when he was at USC, or is it just Shanahan maybe is starting to lose his touch?
I don't know. I always thought he was a good quarterback. He just didn't have any help at some of the places that he's been, and he did do some, kind of hairbone kind of thing. But he is a talented guy. There's no, there was a reason why Darnold was picked that high. But it's going to be interesting, like you said. The next game, what's going to go on with them? Mr. Eric, what do you think? Where is he? Hello, Eric. Mr. Eric.
Well, I wanted to go back to the conversation of the 49ers losing to Minnesota. Last time I checked, we just lost to the Jets, and I'm not saying that we downplayed them, but we walked in there with our heads a little too high. Do you think the 49ers did the same thing? Do you feel as though that they may have looked past them and say, "Oh, it's just Minnesota. They're gonna do the skull clap and all of that, and we're just gonna go in there and put our foot in their behinds and then walk up out of there"? Do you think that was the case, or do you think it really showed? It pulled the veil back and really showed who the 49ers really are?
I like the look back take. I really do. I mean, I think also one of those coming off that loss to Cleveland the week before, they're like, you know what? Ayuk was injured or Debo was injured. Christian McCaffrey was out. Like, and they only lost by 2 points at the end of the game. And they're like, you know what? It's Minnesota. You're right. They're looking past it. And they got Cincinnati this week. They're like, whatever. It's a cakewalk. It's Monday night. And yeah, no, I would agree that they just sort of really looked past Minnesota given their injuries.
That's exactly how I looked at it. And the reason why I said that is because when they walked into Cleveland, they walked in there with their heads high. You know, the bully, the bully mentality. And when they walked in there, they thought they were going to be the bullies, but they actually got bullied. What they didn't know is that kid that they picked on actually knew some type of martial arts. And that was the Cleveland Browns. They had all first-round draft picks. They really messed around and found out. What's the defensive end name? The big one that's out there in Cleveland?
Garrett.
Yo, he was out there treating. In Philly, we could say when you getting over or you busting a guy behind, we call it treating. He was out there treating Trent Williams like a little stepchild. Like, it was amazing to see because Trent Williams don't hardly ever get beat down like that. But what I am saying is, going back to Minnesota, no, that was one of them things, like you said, they were down bodies. And then you also got to remember their running back, their running game would actually make their team go. So when the running back was out, which is Christian McCaffrey, when he was out, they had nobody to fill his spot. So they too may falter more towards the end of the season because they don't have anybody to fill the spot of Christian McCaffrey. So now, I mean, maybe they might ask for the services of Saquon. You don't know.
Too much
McCaffrey and Barkley in the same team, even if because I know McCaffrey, I think, did end up playing last week, but I know it could be in a limited role given coming back off of another injury. God, Barkley and McCaffrey, that'd be a heck of a backfield.
Yeah, that'd be a heck of a backfield. But the crazy part about it, I just thought about this, and now that we mentioned that McCaffrey was never a guy that really got that many carries down in Carolina like that because of injuries. Am I wrong in saying that?
Oh, you're not wrong. He was hurt a lot.
So what would make you think that
he was more involved in the passing game? He was never usually like a standard handed off.
And that's what the 49ers are. They hand it off. I'm gonna beat you down and beat you down for the count. He's not that guy. He's a specialty guy where he's coming off the tackle. He's coming out the backfield. He's more like a Brian Westbrook type guy. I'm gonna use Philadelphia references because that's my team, but he is that type of guy.
You're right. And then and I have to throw this one out because my cousin is a big time Lions fan. They got smacked about by the Ravens 38-6 last week. What do you think about that one?
They deserved it. They deserved it. And the reason why I said that is because you can't walk in somebody's house with dirty shoes on. I know that's a crazy analogy that I'm using, but the reason why I'm saying that is because you can't talk all of this smack thinking that you're just going to go down to a franchise that's established in. I know this PG and I'm trying my best to stay around it, but you can't walk in somebody's house and expect not to get their butt kicked. So you use the other colorful words that you could think in your head. That's the thing. The Ravens have always been professional A kickers. You dig what I'm saying? And for the Lions to go in there with that rough, tough, we're the Lions and we change life and all. Man, you could talk it, but you gotta walk it how you talk it. And that's exactly what they didn't do. They went in there with that mentality of, again, the bully mentality, but the whole time you was faking it. Now you really see what it is. You got bullied. You understand when you play an AFC team, this how this thing gonna go. It ain't gonna go no other way.
Do you think Lamar Jackson is back in the running for the MVP?
I don't think Lamar Jackson ever left. I think he was just in a situation trying to deal with financially, that side of the game. Like, you got your mom being your agent, which she did a wonderful job at getting his deal done. But you and I both know that's just something that was unheard of, probably ever not even seen before. Where the deal that she got him. He did more than half of the legwork by becoming an MVP. But then on the other side, he had to go get the bag to secure it. Then he let his mom go do it. So that was awesome to see that. So he was dealing with all of those things first. But coming into this year, he's not worried about that bag, not as much. So, and he's just playing football. I'm sorry, I'm in the line at McDonald's.
And I'll jump in on your question, Byron, initially about it being Detroit. I also think it's one of those, I've been sleeping on Baltimore all year. I think they do have a lot of talent and they are a good team. But it was one of those things where I've just kind of become sour on them because they underachieve. But they're 5-2, and they beat arguably one of the best teams in the NFC. They smacked them right in the mouth, or whipped their butt, as Eric very playfully put it. That I think it's just really Baltimore just played a perfect 60-minute game, and Detroit got humbled. And hopefully, because I don't hate Detroit, that they're able to build back on this. I think Dan Campbell's more than able to do that.
Yeah, that's my team. That's why I had to mention, that. So I'm sure he'll be texting me, complaining about the fact that I'm bad about the Detroit Lions, which I'm not doing. But okay, let's go. Let's see what time it is. We're getting close. Giants Jets outlook. What do you think?
I'm very nervous. I mean, well, this was a winnable game for the Giants, but the Jets are extremely talented.
The key is the victory. How about that?
I think just really pressuring Zach Wilson. I think Zach Wilson is having somewhat of a weird renaissance here in terms of like a stat line. Garrett Wilson is having a phenomenal year. I think it's really just the defense pressuring Zach Wilson and kind of bringing him back to when he just had his rookie yips last year. That's really what the thing comes down to, is if the Giants can shut down Zach Wilson. I could see this being an ugly game like the last two they've played, where it's like winning team only scores 14 points.
Oh, wow. Alex, I thought I'd never hear you say anything like that. Shut down Zach Wilson? Like,
well, listen, if we're talking the key to this particular game,
I'm just like, dude, shut down. He gonna shut down himself. Like, come on, man. Listen, don't let it fool you. He did a wonderful job when he played against us, and yeah, we lost, but it wasn't because of him. Let's just put it like that. Anytime you take a sack for at least damn near 30 yards, you ain't doing too much of nothing. You just in the way. But I will give you one part of your analysis that you're right. The Jets are a team that is not to be played with, especially when they really feel like that Aaron Rodgers may make his way back, because his presence is still in the locker room and on the field as well as with the coaches. So I do give you that.
Which one is this?
Hold on. Go ahead, Coach.
The thing is, I'm not saying that means that I view Zach Wilson as a threat, period. Just more so for like the Giants. Like the Jets defense is going to cause problems for the Giants. I think the Jets have a very good defensive rush. They're going to pressure. I believe Tyrod most likely is playing. I know Daniel Jones is still saying that he's fine, but I doubt he's going to play this week. That's more of what I get at. Like the Giants are going to struggle on offense, and I wouldn't necessarily view that as a key. Like, well, if they can score points, they should, or at least something. It's more so, can the Giants defense play like they did the last 2 weeks?
I believe so. Alex, let me ask you a question. Sometimes quarterbacks need a reset, right?
Yeah.
What's wrong with having a great backup? We had one here in Philadelphia, and you see how far it took us. I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen, but it could possibly happen. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, from the region I've grown up in my entire life, the greatest backup of all time, Tom Brady, who became the GOAT. Sometimes it can't hurt. No, I'm not I can't say my words. Dissing on Tyrod. I like Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, but the Jets can run the ball. For some reason, they've kind of sort of gotten away from that, because they do have, a couple good backs. And, they do have Garrett Wilson, the receiver. They do have the weapons, on, offense to cause, which they have caused problems for, our G-men. But, like we've been saying, if Tyrod Taylor keeps doing what he's been doing, because he's going to be the guy, Saquon's able to run the ball against that defensive front, which is their front seven is really good for the Jets.
Coach, Tyrod Taylor is a professional. I'm trying to tell you, man. He's a great backup.
It takes more than just him, because the line hasn't been blocking. We got lucky the last 2 weeks, as far as them attempting to block somebody. It's looking a little bit better. Not much, but it's better than what it's been with Justin Pugh, at left tackle now. He's not a left tackle. They signed him to play left guard, but now he's doing a job. He's serviceable. He's good enough to put out there. This week, I don't think Evan Neal is playing this week again. So, as long as they keep him on the sideline, maybe he needs to stay on the sideline and watch the speed of the game, and maybe he'll learn something by watching. But, he wasn't playing well, at all, as far as the Giants.
I think he got caught up in the fact that he got paid this year. Everybody was looking at him to be more than what he was. And he too is only a serviceable quarterback.
Ooh.
But the difference in between the two is one get paid more than the other, and the experience factor. See, Tyrod been in the league so long, he know a lot of different faces and been a lot of places. So it's not new to him to come in and do what he's been doing. The question is can Daniel do the same? Can he come back into that locker room, take hold of that locker room? Because the guys want to block for him, but they don't know what they're going to get out of him. Like, with Tyrod, he's so smooth and cool. You're like, oh, man, who is this guy? Is this Denzel? Like, who is this? I want to just be around him so that way I can even just be on at least, like, listen, I know I've never seen so many different shots of a quarterback on a screen sitting down in that game. And I'm like, well, damn, they don't do Daniel like this. Like, if I'm Daniel, I'm a little jealous. Like, so all I'm saying is that the players, stand eye to eye with Tyrod more than they do with Daniel. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. All right, well, let's get close to that time. So let's throw some picks out there and see what's going on in the world. Okay. I got Jets versus Giants there, Alex.
Against my better judgment and picking the New York Football Giants to win this one, I will believe in my team until they ruin my life.
Eric?
Yeah, I'm right with Alex, man. I'm right in his wheelhouse. The Giants they're gonna start rolling. I love it, man. I'm going with the Giants.
I'm gonna be a hater like I usually am. Jets. 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 Go Jets. There you go. Jaguars, Steelers.
Initially, I impulsively wanted to pick Jacksonville, but I'm going with the Steelers. Steelers are frisky. They're not. They can't put together a complete game, but they got a lot of weapons. I'm picking the Steelers.
There's nothing pretty about saying what I'm about to say, because I normally don't pick the other team on the other side of Pennsylvania, but I'm going with them because I love their coach, and their coach always got them in the playoffs. So I'm going with the Steelers.
Since Victor's not here, I'm gonna do it again. I'm going with the Jaguars. Eagles, Commanders.
Come on, Eagles. I'm not even going to think twice about that. I'm not even going to try to be a contrarian for the sake of maybe trolling Eric. No, Eagles. Come on.
The Eagles in a close game, and the reason why I say that is a game in house, and what happens in house stays in house.
I'm going to be a hater again, man. I'm going to Commanders, man. They always play them tough, man. They're going to beat them. They're going to beat your Eagles. Rams, Cowboys.
I'm going with them boys, unfortunately.
Eric?
Well, but the coach out LA having a new baby, you know who I'm going with. I'd never go with Dallas. You better get that.
Guess you're going with the Rams then. B as well. Vikings, Packers.
Vikings. Oh, wait, hold on. I got to double check. I think I actually might have picked the Packers.
And they're playing in Green Bay.
I'm gonna let my wife speak about that one.
I'm going with the Packers all day.
I picked the Vikings.
I'm going with the Vikings. Falcons, Titans.
Falcons.
Well, the Titans just gave us one of their great players, so you might as well go with Atlanta. Dirty Bird, let's go, baby.
And the Titans are also starting Will Levis, the quarterback from Kentucky. So he's starting on Sunday. I'm going with the Falcons. Patriots, Dolphins.
My future mother-in-law is going to be at that game. I'm going with the Dolphins. She's a big Dolphins fan.
Who mother-in-law?
My future mother-in-law. She's a
Oh, your
Dolphins
future.
fan.
Okay, I thought you said future, like you know him. I was the rapper. I was like, damn.
She's
I
a
was like,
Dolphins
yo,
fan. She's down in Miami for this weekend.
that's
She'll
what's
be at
up.
the game. I'm picking Miami.
The only issue that I have with the Dolphins, and I actually spoke on a podcast about it, is the maturity factor. Are they going to be mature enough to walk in their house and have New England come to their house and do what they're supposed to do, like we did them when they came to Philadelphia? So I'm going to go with the Dolphins only if they mature enough to understand that they got a job to do and they got to finish it out.
I'm going to the Dolphins.
Patriots also could give fits too. They're a solid defensive team. They're not great offensively. I'm still not going to buy into Mac Jones, but defensively they're legit.
I'm going to the Dolphins. It's going to be hot in Miami, and the Heat going to get to you. The Dolphins. Saints, Colts.
Colts.
Yeah, Colts. I'm going to Colts. Eric?
I don't even know because I watched the who?
Colts again.
Saints against Colts. I'm talking
The
to my
Saints.
wife. My wife said the Saints. I'm going with the Saints.
Really?
Quarterback of Indianapolis is concerning, but I just think that New Orleans is just.
You got Minshew Magic. Minshew is back there. Texans, Panthers.
Texans.
Texans.
Me too, Texans. Browns, Seahawks.
Do we have to watch that?
I mean, depending on your market, probably not.
No,
I'm going Browns.
oh no. Who do you pick out of that? Like,
It's a 4 o'clock game, so it'll probably be on.
I'm gonna pick the Browns.
all right, we're going with the Browns.
I'm gonna pick the Browns.
They're playing in Seattle.
Whatever.
And
We're going with the Browns.
one of the bullet points we have is Deshaun playing, or is it going to be PJ Walker, XFL legend?
PJ's playing.
Well, PJ
Oh,
playing.
yeah,
We're going with PJ.
Yeah,
He played at Temple. That's my guy.
Homer, Bengals, 49ers.
I picked the Bengals. I really went back and
the
forth,
Bengals
but I
too.
think this is a letdown
They
spot
don't
again for
have
Sam.
their quarterback. Who's the backup quarterback now for the 49ers?
Sam Darnold's playing.
I mean, you can go with it. My picks is going in this week.
Well, I'm listening to my wife. What you say?
My picks going in this week because I'm trying to get
You
the
gotta pick.
26.
You're taking up time. You gotta pick.
I'm still going with the 49ers.
All right, she said the 49ers. But you know who I'm going with. She said the 49ers.
Chiefs, Broncos. Oh, man. Yeah, that's easy. Chiefs. Did it disappear? Eric? I guess
I'm still here.
Chiefs, Broncos.
Man, listen, the Broncos burnt me when I picked them for 70. I'm not ever doing that again. So hey, you already know if they put 70 up on them, they probably bound to put 100 up on them dudes. Man, Chiefs.
Oh, please. Pat Mahomes need to save my season.
Yeah, Raven Cardinals.
Ravens.
Yeah, Ravens.
Of course, the Ravens. We just got finished talking about the former MVP.
My nephew over there.
Here's a good one. Bears, Chargers. Bears have that rookie quarterback from the division school as the quarterback right now.
Did you see what he did last week?
He's not bad, man. He won the Division II version of the Heisman. He's not bad at all.
Hey, Coach, I'm picking the Bears.
Damn. Reese was that one?
The friend of the show, Brendan Staley's team. Give me the LA Chargers this time around.
Yeah, we can't. Don't bring that name up. Yeah, he might come back.
Again, trying to drive engagement for the show. We got to invoke his name.
I'm going to go with the Bears, and Brandon Staley is going to still do an outstanding job with the future Hall of Fame quarterback Justin Herbert. Yes, I love Brandon. Then we have the Raiders.
He gonna call back the show. He about to call the show right now.
I know, because we keep beating him up, boy. Every week he gets beat up. Raiders, Lions in Detroit.
Monday night, I'm taking the Lions. I think
Yeah, the Lions. The Lions learned the Lions learned their lesson. You know, just keep your mouth shut and close your eye and don't close your eyes when you throw a punch.
That doesn't work?
Yeah, you won't see them coming.
You won't see what you're going to get back if you close your eyes. Yes, I'm going to go with the Lions since, you know, my cousin and all of my family members of Detroit are big time Detroit fans. They'll probably be at the game. So whatever, I have to go with them if I don't want to hear the end of it. It is what it is sometimes. So we have come to the end. So some parting shots. Not really. Alex, how can we reach you if we want to reach you?
A Quirko on Twitter, X, whatever it's going by these days. Same with Instagram. Same handle. A Quirko.
Mr. Winters, if we wanted to reach you, besides me texting you 900,000 times over the course of the day, what else will we reach you?
By texting Coach Byron 100 times.
And I'm going to say the same thing I always do. Facebook, you'll see me messing around doing all the stupid things I do on there, and that's it. I don't mess with X and Instagram and MySpace and none of that stuff. Just Facebook. That's it. That's it. Again, you know, we always support, you know, Warrior. I'm having a brain fart. The Warrior Foundation and the one Gary Sinise and, you know, Eric himself, you know, he's a veteran like myself, and, you know, my sister, you know, I got a lot of family members. So, you know, whatever branch you want to give to as far as with the veterans, give to all of them, you know, a little bit. And that's it. So everybody have a good weekend, good week. I'm sitting in Atlantic City. I ain't spending no more money on anything, which I don't look, but everybody have a good weekend. Peace out. Did Eric disappear? I guess he did. All right.